Morning, everybody. It's day 2 of the drive across the country. Stopped off last night in Billings, Montana, and we're just gonna start mobbing our way across. Starting with seeing if she starts right up. She should, but you know, you never know. A little bit of a stumble, but she's running. All right. Oh, that just came off. That's fine. Okay, so we're heading for Spearfish, South Dakota, which is just right along I-90. I have heard that there's a pretty decent road to check out along there, so we're just gonna hop on and hit the road. She drives well. I mean, there's definitely some things that need to be looked at and taken care of. There are times on rough roads the car feels like it's all over the place. And even though I'm running a 9.5 wide wheel, 275 tire up front, which is what came on the Z06s, it feels like she's rubbing at a good bit less than full lock. So definitely something I will have to investigate. And I think this is the way back to the freeway. Stayed the night kept debating on whether or not I wanted to sleep in the car or get a hotel, and I couldn't find a rest stop, so hotel it was. Okay. Oh yes, a little, very shallow ramp, but we'll take it kind of wide so we don't scrape, because hashtag lowered car life. You know how that goes. Yeah, so some other little foibles and things. Like I said, the steering kind of feels like it's all over the place. I was going to stop at a gas station and at least clean the windshield off, because it's covered in bugs. I forgot about that. But maybe I'll see one on the other side of 90 here. But she pulls to the right when braking, so either I got like a bent slider pin or guide pin or whatever the fuck you want to call it, or she's got a okay, there we go, I-90 East. I'm not seeing a gas station, so I'm thinking we're just gonna end up toughing it out with shitty view out the windshield for a little while until we need to get some more. Well, next time I stop at a gas station. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, there is she pulls to the right. That's kind of really it. I mean, the ride's a little rough. Well, it's weird. It's comfortable, but it's bouncy. I think so. When I installed the front suspension and messed with the rear suspension, it was the front bolts were seized, and they were stuck like basically fully lowered, so the nose of this car is like that far off the ground. I tried to raise because I wanted to make sure that when I went and drove it, nothing would, I wanted to raise both, and I was like, oh sure, the ride height will be ridiculously high, but I'd rather it be high and not scrape on anything than be low and fuck a bunch of shit up. And of course, I couldn't do that with the front because apparently the bolts tend to seize in these fucking springs, and on the car, it's really hard to unstick it. My plan was, I'm putting new suspension on anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just something I got to deal with now. So because of that, I feel like the car is riding on bump stops, and so I'm feeling every little bump in the road. Not in an uncomfortable way, but it's definitely, you're bouncing. So it's kind of a disconcerting feeling. Oh no, not low washer fluid. Well, actually, if I had washer fluid, I could probably clean this windshield off. Oh well, I'll just have to wait. So, yeah, it is what it is, but the car is running great. I'm getting ridiculously good gas mileage for the fact that I've been going 80 miles, and probably averaging 80 the whole way. We did 830 miles in about 12 hours. So, it's including stops and things like that. And then I ran into a little bit of traffic getting out of Seattle. So yeah. That's really it for now. There's, that's what's going on with the car. So I guess just like yesterday, let's just sit back and enjoy the ride.
So here is where I hit the worst part of the trip. This was just a bit before I hit Spearfish, and you can see it's raining and steadily getting worse. This is pretty sketchy, as the tires on the car were a bit iffy in this kind of weather, and there was a significant crosswind. I mean, if you look at the rooster tail coming off the truck in front of me, it's blowing pretty much straight off to the side, instantaneously. On top of that, there were some unhappy noises coming from the drivetrain at this point. I was hearing a rattle from the shifter that was a little scary, so I backed things off and just focused on trying to get through it. I'm going to cut out most of this footage just because all you're really going to be able to see is my wipers making pretty patterns across my windshield. So I'll see you on the other side.
All right, guys. So here we are at the end of day 2. By far the hardest day. Between the rain and the drivetrain issues that started cropping up, I was seriously concerned about whether or not I'd make it. But she did great, and we were able to make it all the way to Waterloo, Iowa. A place I really don't ever want to go back to if I can avoid it. So catch you on the last little leg of the journey, and see you in Indiana.